Hello and welcome to a late episode of Subfacts podcast. I'm here with my partner in crime, Mooney.
You forget my name?
I'm your host,
we don't
Matt.
do it for 4 days and you forget my name?
I know, that's what happens. This is what happens when we go rogue, as they say. And so that's really what happened,
We did. We went rogue. That was like a last second.
Yeah, we like literally, it was one of those things where sometimes when we know we're going to go rogue, we'll go earlier rather than later.
Yeah, we get pre-warnings on rogues.
Yeah, so this time we just decided to go rogue extra late, which is fine. It's all good.
All my fault. For the sake of entertainment. Like, in other words, I can't imagine that, like, in the world of acting and all those things that, sometimes you may not get a scene right if the person's not feeling it. I was not feeling it, and I did not want to deliver a subpar show to the
folks,
loyalists.
you just got to make sure that the talent is in a perfect headspace. They always goof on these like eccentric, actors and stuff. You're now that guy.
Yeah, I can imagine like a John Goodman back in the day, Zach Galifianakis in the Hangover movies, right? Like what if he's feeling normal and he has to go play the guy in the Hangover movies? Like,
pretty soon you're going to get an assistant. You're going to hit him with a cell phone. You're going to get a crazy demand list. It's going to happen.
No green, no red M&Ms.
Yeah. And Van Halen, they did that with the no green M&Ms, and they only did that just to see if anybody was actually paying attention.
Right, I read that in the Freakonomics. That's awesome.
And so, that's going to be you, sir. That's your future.
There we go. I hope so, man.
So, well, here's to our future. What's up, Brian?
Hello, fellas.
Muffo.
And for the record, it was brown M&Ms. Brown M&Ms.
Was it brown?
It was brown.
Oh, I thought it was green. No. What can you do?
I thought it was red. That's the funny thing.
No, I always thought it was green.
All right. So the warm-up this week, this is the first question. What is something you are 100% sure you will never, ever do again in your life?
Get married? No. I'm just saying that,
crowd surf. I mean, you put it in there.
married.
That's a good idea. I don't think I'll ever. I mean, maybe I would. I can't say that because if I miraculously lost weight and got down to 220 or 210, I would probably crowd surf again.
Oh, another one, just random one, is like the auto train. I will never, I did that when I was in college because there's an auto train. Basically, it's an Amtrak that takes you from Northern Virginia to right outside of Orlando. And it's just a downright miserable experience. And so ironically, I did that a long time ago, miserable, hated it. Then I just saw a YouTube guy do it. One of these hey, I'm doing this. And this dude tried so hard to make it good. And he spent extra money to get the sleeper cabins, all that stuff. And it's just a miserable experience.
I don't ever want to do it.
No, and it just made me it reminded me of all that time, and I was just F that, F the auto train.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't
Never
want to
doing
it. I'll tell you what I won't do again because it was probably the most boring and miserable experience of my life. Is go see an opera. I saw Phantom of the Opera, and it was
but Phantom of the Opera is not an opera.
I know, but it's still miserable.
It's a Broadway show.
I understand, but it was miserable enough to make me not want to ever see an opera.
Yeah, but what if your
ahead.
wife's Mooney, we have to go see this?
Yeah, you went to see Barbie.
Yeah,
sir.
But Barbie's 2 hours, and opera's 5.
I don't know. It's 5
or 4, whatever, and it's painful.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
And at least I got to look at Margot Robbie. Imagine, going to an opera, what I'm going to see.
What if she's Mooney, the Jets are going to the Super Bowl. You can go and spend as much money as you want to go as long as you take me to this opera.
Why does Brian got to make me go back on my offers?
Yeah, it's true. But you
Fine.
did that.
Yeah, then maybe I would do it.
No, but here's the thing. My wife actually last summer, I had to join a club or whatever to get tickets to another concert that I was trying to go to. And they were like, oh, well, since you're a member of this club, here's free tickets to the opera.
I'll throw them away.
And I literally, of course, the wife was like, oh, we should go. And I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. I mean, you and your best friend, you'll have a great time.
Yeah.
I will never be there.
Never. I'm not going. That's
she actually did. She actually did go with her best friend.
She did?
And she enjoyed it.
No, she didn't.
She gave me. I think it's because you feel highbrow. I think there's a little bit of I feel highbrow when I go.
I hate feeling highbrow.
But like she knew that it was best that I wasn't there.
Oh yeah,
because I would have been complaining the whole time.
Me and you are terrible highbrow people.
Yeah, and so yeah, I just wouldn't go. And
you know, Brian's good at he could easily do opera.
I would never go to the opera.
He loves willingly. That. He's probably. I guarantee
I've never been to the opera, and I will not ever go if I can help it.
Okay, I imagine Brian when he's.
But he would drive people to the opera in his bouge Porsche.
When Brian's like cooking in the kitchen, he's got opera in the background. Like that's what I imagine. That's how I picture it. I just picture
cooking his feet in the kitchen.
I'm glad you guys think so highly of me. That's awesome. I do it with my monocle and my top hat. I'm cooking.
Yeah, because you know how you're extra bouge.
White glove.
He's like cutting up. He's like
tails.
Cutting up some cheese and wine and all that stuff.
Hey, dear.
Yeah.
Wait, they're hitting the best part.
Oh Lord. All right, I think we've exhausted this question. Let's go to the next one. All right. Next question.
By the way, Brian, there's like a black box in our screen. Is that on purpose or
no? Not that I know.
It doesn't really matter. I just want to make sure it's not on the actual.
No, it's not on the actual video.
Okay.
So.
Okay, cool.
What is the best TV show that got canceled that shouldn't have?
Oh wow. All right, here we go.
Well, it's like canceled or run their course. Like, because there's some shows that just ran their course, and that was it.
Here's the funny thing: I've watched limited episodes of Freaks and Geeks, maybe 1 or 2 episodes of My So-Called Life, 1 episode of Heroes. Other than that, I haven't seen a single episode of anything else there. Never watched OC, Andy Ritter, Dark Angel, Rome, Veronica Mars.
These are just to get us. These are just to get our.
Yeah, it could be something else. It doesn't have
to be. It could be anything else. Is there a show that you really enjoyed that got canceled and it shouldn't have been canceled in your opinion?
Ooh,
And if you haven't seen Rome, Mooney, you should go watch it because it was awesome.
Rome is the best.
Is it?
Oh, I loved Rome.
Okay.
But you know what? Rome ran its course.
It kind of did.
Like if you. No, it did because, and I actually used to cheat on my wife with Rome because it's history, and because we used to watch it together, and it was when we had to wait every week to get a new one or a new season, and I would actually just go Wikipedia like what really happened because it was based on real history, and when Rome ended, the emperor essentially, I think it was Alexander the Great or whatever, had a long illustrious career afterwards, but it was all positive. It was all good stuff. So there really wasn't a story to be had. So it kind of ran its course. So that's one that like it left, but it left for historical. It left for the right reasons. But so I'm trying to think of a show because most of the shows that I like, you can always tell they ran their course, even though you kind of just like the show and it's.
I liked Entourage. I don't know, but I think it ran its course.
That had like 7 seasons though.
Yeah,
that's what I said. I don't know.
They all kind of they in a weird sort of way.
Sopranos ran its course.
They all kind of know when to. Some of them don't know when to leave, but I mean, like most of them, when they do eventually get canceled, it's about time. So I really struggle. Like Dawson's Creek for me is my all-time favorite show, as you guys know, but even then it was running its course. So I really don't know.
Wonder Years? No.
I can't think of a show.
CSI ran its course. I loved that show.
I can't think
then
of a show.
Then they brought it back and it just doesn't have the same juice.
Yeah, like I know Seinfeld, if anything, was the closest to and actually.
Oh, you know what? They canceled early, which I loved? Remote Control. I loved that show.
No, that ran its course too. They had gone through Kari. They had a different girl. Then Colin left. They had different.
Kari was great.
Yeah, they had different. At some point, it kind of got a little stale.
Okay.
So
I don't know. I'm not a big TV watcher, so I'm not the best guy to ask. I never really get that involved in TV shows.
Yeah, like I said, I can't think of one that didn't run its course.
All right,
Ryan, do you have?
I would say Firefly or Rome would be the two. Firefly mostly, just because it only got 1 season and it was highly beloved by the fans, and then it got a movie that kind of was terrible. So.
Oh.
What about Freaks and Geeks? Wasn't that
Freaks and Geeks only had 1 season?
I love Freaks
that was great. It was great.
So maybe that's a good one.
I guess Freaks and Geeks is probably a good one. Because I enjoyed it. And
I really liked Andy Richter controlled the universe. That was just getting funny when they can't.
We're the only one, really.
Yeah, probably, yep. All right, cool. Last question. Which NFL head coach on the hot seat will be fired first this season? So we have the Chargers, Brandon Staley. We've got the Browns, Kevin Stefanski. The Commanders, Ron Rivera. We've got the Patriots, Bill Belichick. We've got the Raiders, Josh McDaniels. We've got Titans, Mike Vrabel. We've got the Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. And we've got the Buccaneers, Todd Bowles.
It's a 3-team race.
Well, like Belichick's
all the other coaches there are probably going to get the full year.
Belichick's like, come on, he's still safe based on his history.
Yeah, that's what I said.
There's talk that he may go. Like if he doesn't
retire.
Right, but I'm saying is okay. For me, Stefanski, Rivera, Belichick, Vrabel, and McCarthy are all going to last the season, in my opinion. I don't think they go mid-season. It's a 3-man race for mid-season. McDaniels, Bowles, and Staley. It's just a matter of team which gets off to the worst start, and based on personnel and based on like quarterback, I think Buccaneers probably do, and I think Bowles gets done mid-season.
Yeah, I think
Staley's close. Staley, by the way, the worst coach on that list is Staley. He is a egregiously bad coach. I can't tell you how much I hate that man.
I think Mooney's right. As much as I'd love Ron Rivera to be gone now, nobody's expecting anything out of the Commanders.
No. And with the new owner, they're not going to make
possibly a new
moves.
Name coming up next year. Like they're not gonna. They're just gonna ride out this year.
Of course, this year is a ride out year, and they're going to get a new GM. They're going to get a new coach, new OC,
new name.
They're going to do everything new. That's what new owners do. But they gotta, it's too late in the year.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right.
But Staley's a terrible. Okay, so this is why Staley is the worst coach in America ever. The Raiders were playing the Chargers, and if they tied, both teams made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders were driving, and it was about the 50-yard line with about 30 seconds left. Raiders were not calling timeout. They were letting the clock drip. It was like 40, 39, 38, and basically tie game. Both teams get in. The Chargers call a timeout on the Raiders' 3rd down to try and force a punt to see if they can get the ball and win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders get the 1st down and end up kicking a field goal on purpose to shove it in their face, and Chargers are out of the playoffs.
Yeah, that was
all they had to do was shut their mouth and not call a timeout.
Dummies. Dummies.
Yep. The players were so mad. They were just, it was hilarious. All right. Well, that's it. That's the end.
Big Brother.
Yeah, there's one that could get canceled.
So, Matt, what's up? How are you going to watch this season? Apparently, it's like a multiverse season or something. I was reading.
What?
So, no, it's funny.
You hate multiverses.
I do hate multiverses. So I actually haven't.
I want to hear this. What's going on?
I haven't started it yet because we're letting a couple episodes build up. Because it's one of those shows that you always want to go, what's going to happen next? We wanted to let some shows. It started this week, so we have not seen episode 1 yet. So it looks like, is that that's not the current cast, because those are people that they've had in the past.
Well, that's the thing. They're bringing some of them back.
Oh, well, they always do. So what they do from time to time is they'll have new people, then they'll bring some old people back, and it really creates the tension. So it's kind of like the new people gang up on the old people. It's just kind of like, well, because you don't want an old person who already had their shot. You get them out of the house first, because
that makes sense.
So some of the things I read about it though was that like they're going to pretend like some of the people that didn't win the past seasons actually won somehow and change the.
No, you can't do that, because
that's what they're doing.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying is, if let's say they have Joe Schmo who was in a previous season, and they go, oh, he actually won. Reality is, everybody that goes into that Big Brother house has seen every single previous episode. It's like telling the jury, scratch that from the record. You already heard it. You already know. So you can't really, you can lie all you want. It's not going to change anything. So that's kind of dumb if that's what they're doing. But I will. I'm planning on watching it this weekend and getting caught up. So I'll talk about it next week.
Nice.
In the TV section. So so a couple things I wanted to cover. Last week I mentioned that I was going to the Living Color concert, and there was a potential of interviewing, Corey, the lead singer, or the band. And so, because when we went to the CSA show, I specifically handed him a card. We had a conversation, and he was like, yeah, show up around, I get there about 4 or 5, and we'll do it then. And so I realized, big mistake, because I did ask, I said, hey, is there a number I can call? We can kind of set this up. And he did kind of look around like, I'm just not really sure which number to give, type of thing. And I'm like, okay, and I get at that point I'm a rube, because I'm going, okay, yeah, I understand you don't want to give me your personal phone number. So
I get it. I
get that part. So it was kind of a crapshoot. And so I showed up 4 or 5, the band, the tour bus was there, and there was sound check going on, but Corey wasn't there. The opening band, I ended up talking to somebody, and he kept looking out for me, and nope, Corey wasn't there. So then it gets closer to like the end of the sound check, and they figured, a lot of times the band just needs to get set up, and the lead singer just comes in, they belt out a song, and then they leave. So Corey gets off of the bus, and I'm right there, but there's also some other people that were kind of looking for autographs and stuff. So it really didn't look good for me.
Oh, man.
So he gets off the bus, and I'm like, hey, Corey, remember we had this, we had a interview thing, and I had the camera and I looked professional, and he kind of the funny thing is he gave me the finger, but he didn't give me the finger. He gave me it was like this, hold on, that type of thing, as he was getting rushed into the thing to do the sound check. And then, so then they're doing the sound check. He doesn't come out. The sound check's kind of done. There's another dude with an album that was signed by him. And I was like, what's up? Yeah, I was just talking to random people, and this guy was like, yeah, I saw him at the CSA show, and he told me to show up between 4 and 5, and the rest of the band would sign the album. I'm like, okay, so at that point I'm like, I think I got the blow up.
Yeah, he told everybody the
same. He kind of said the same thing to everybody, but I will say the show was fantastic. I think people really underestimate Living Color. I think they're really one of the most underrated bands as far as just sheer talent goes.
Right.
Each member is just ridiculously talented. And now is the best time to see them, because they just have this rapport of, they've been doing this forever. They can play anything in their sleep, and they're just so relaxed and comfortable. And I think they're actually on tour right now with Extreme, which is another great band that people should see. So I don't want the fact that I got blown off for the interview.
Right. They have a schedule they need to meet.
It is what it is. And maybe one of these days Brian can reach out to him, later on in our career and make it happen.
There we go.
But yeah, anyway, you should definitely check out the show. It was a really good show. So don't sleep on Living Color, folks. So then the next night I was, kind of bored, didn't have anything to do. And I'm looking at, what movies could I watch? And I see the new Evil Dead movie, The Rise.
Awesome.
It's Rise of the
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And so I enjoyed it as well. And it's not going to be a full review or anything like that, I think, because you've already done that in previous episodes. So I watched it, and one thing that really struck me as odd. So just if you haven't seen it, folks,
I know what you're going to talk about.
It's about this, mom who's got 3 kids. They're living in an apartment, and their aunt comes to visit, type of thing. And that's just how the beginning starts. So the aunt shows up. The mom is like, hey, kids, why don't you guys go out and get some pizza, and say, hey, let's have a party. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. Let's do this. So the kids come back. They're in the parking garage. Guys got 3 large pies, in it, 3
Yeah.
Good size, large
I'm
pies.
sitting there going, man, they're going to eat some good pizza.
Well, that's what I thought, because in the movies, they never have multiple pies. They always have one. And you're like, how is 10 people going to eat
one pizza?
And in this case, it was really only 5 people. Yeah, and the fact that they had 3 large for 5 people.
Each one's going to get like 6-7 slices.
Yeah, I was like, maybe hell yeah, this is on, right? So then there's this like earthquake thing that happens.
Yeah.
And the kid drops the pizzas, but they still landed perfectly. Like the boxes were still good.
Landed fine.
So
doesn't the little girl even point out that they're still fine?
Yeah, the little girl actually opens the top box and you see like one slice that folded over. No biggie. You're still good. So then they're like, they start to look around and see the big hole in the concrete, all this stuff. And next thing you know, they cut to them coming up to the mom, because they were shaken by the earthquake. They're empty-handed.
Yeah, they didn't bring the pizza up.
I was like, where the hell are these pizzas? And the worst is they were like, we dropped the pizza, or we didn't get the pizza. And then the mom hugs them and is like, don't worry, you guys are more important than pizza. Right then and there, I'm like, what?
That wouldn't have happened in New York.
No, that's not happening in my house.
You'd have been like, boy, where's the pizza?
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, I gave you enough money to get some pizzas,
Dad, now, it's hailing outside or whatever. Like,
no, get back down. Like, what happened to them? And if they say, look, we dropped them, they're in the garage.
We're worried about our safety.
You need to go back down to the garage and get those pizzas. I don't care if they don't look perfect. You still can eat them.
There could be an evil spirit out there ready to eat your son.
No, get out there, get the pizzas, and then we'll discuss it as we're eating.
What if he doesn't come back because he gets?
Hey, if you watch the rest of the movie, folks, he's not coming back anyway. But but here's the thing: the pizza's dropped, and then this kid goes and he's the one that actually finds the book, all this kind of stuff.
He is.
Had they literally just picked the pizzas up and went back home,
pizza could have saved lives.
Evil spirits would not have happened.
Never. They wouldn't have happened ever.
All they had to do, pick the pizzas up, go back up.
It could have been delayed, right? The next time the mother goes to the parking lot, she may have heard the thing and started looking around.
But you die on a full stomach.
My point is you're right. Pizza could have saved lives forever or temporarily.
100%. 100%.
All they had to do was grab the pizza, say, "Oh, look, nothing happened," and maybe the 2 other pizzas are still perfect, and that's enough for the 5 people.
By the way, do you even I've done this before. I've dropped a box of pizza, and then the cheese scrapes the top.
Take it off the top.
Take it off the top, and it's still good.
Yeah,
it didn't deter me from eating it.
When I looked at it, I said, "Man, at least the pizza's okay."
The pizza actually looked good too.
Yeah,
I was just like, hey,
that's the first thing they should have done before searching around and looking. Grab the pizza, go upstairs.
Yeah, it drove me. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of took me out of the movie for a bit because I'm sitting there going, first of all, my family has never heard me say you're more important than pizza.
Yeah, not many families say that.
No, that was weird. Like the writers, somebody should have said, let's scratch that because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, editing. If you were editing that movie, you would have been like, we'll edit that part out.
I would fire the person who wrote that in. I would be like, who wrote that? Like, they're never going to work in this town again. Bastards. And so,
oh my God, the guy gets in. Why were you fired? Well, I wrote a line about being pizza weren't.
And then you're the guy. Okay, you're not working here.
And then the person interviewing goes, well, that was really a stupid line.
Yeah, who writes that dumb of a line? So it drove me nuts. I will say I did enjoy the movie, and I love the fact that kids get killed. Kids don't get killed enough in movies and stuff.
They don't.
And it's because it's like a taboo thing.
It is taboo.
Come on, just start killing some kids.
So that's why, it impressed me too, because you're right. When you're watching a movie like that, the kid is, so like the mother or father is with the kid, kids, they're not going to die in that scene.
Yeah.
They're going to get them away from the kid and then they're going to die.
Yeah. And so I did appreciate that. I love the gory ending, which was great.
Awesome.
It was just, like I said, the pizza part just kind of drove me nuts.
Lucky it happened early enough so it had time to make up for it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I had pizza literally on the brain because of that, of course. And I was actually coming up on a cheat day because of, the weight loss, the weigh-in type of thing. So I knew pizza was in my future. So this week has just been a pizza week. I was, as you know, in my outside of all of this, I've been focusing a lot on like learning different bands and stuff like that. And I was watching I watched a video on YouTube, and they were just talking about, death metal bands that you may not have heard of or anything like that. And I saw that there's a band called Pizza Death.
That's it. Just Pizza Death.
Pizza Death. And I was like, awesome. Like I've never seen pizza in the name of any band ever before in my life.
Until now.
And in a weird sort of way, I feel like if you and I were to ever come up with like a death metal band, it would probably be a Pizza Death.
Yeah. I think that's what we would go with, something like that.
We'd have to go Death by Pizza.
Right.
Because I think that's how we would both want to die if we were to, if we were in a...
Or Meat Lovers Massacre or something.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be good too. That'd be pretty solid. And so... So yeah, Pizza Death. So folks, feel free and check them out. It's actually
a real band.
It's a legitimate band.
Do they wear pizza themed clothing or?
The album cover was pretty funny. It's got like a cartoon looking like pizza slice, but it's like the triangle, and like how you have like a lot of these like death metal bands have like the pentagrams and stuff like that. It was very similar. It was pretty awesome.
Oh, nice. All right.
So
I want to see the album cover.
Yeah, so Pizza Death is.
Check them out. Sometimes we have a producer who can pull up album covers really quick.
I don't know. He's sleeping.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
He's listening to opera.
It's Pizza Death.
Yeah.
And what was the album?
Just look up Pizza Death albums. Maybe I don't know how many albums they have. They have a song called Microwave Monster. See how the pentagram?
Oh no,
that's awesome.
That is pimp.
Isn't that great?
I love that cover.
Slice of Death. That's fantastic.
That is awesome.
So Pizza Death. That might have to be
a great album cover. That's one of the best album covers.
That might have to be the official band of Subfacts. Pizza Death. It's awesome. Anyway, I really appreciate the fact that there's a band called Pizza Death. Pizza of Death shirt too.
Love it.
Okay, so anyway, last thing pizza related I'm going to bring up is also this week it was announced that Dave Portnoy, One Bite, everybody knows the rules, decided to come up with a One Bite Pizza Festival in Coney Island featuring, I think it's like 36 of all of the top pizza places that he's gone to, like Sally's a Pizza, all that stuff.
I know, I saw that advertisement, and then I saw
it. Agreed. I saw it and originally was like, I gotta go. I literally told the family we're going, and it's on my wife's birthday.
Right.
And I was like, dude,
no, it's not.
It's the day before.
I was going to say.
It's the day before, and I said to her,
I was going to say it's on my wife's birthday, and I know we're not. No,
it's on the day before, and I said, hey, I'm taking you on a trip for your birthday. I literally said it this way. I'm like, we're going to New York, Coney Island, all this kind of stuff. But then looking into it, I did see the ticket price. The minimum ticket price was $150, which they say it's all you can eat, which there is no way in a festival setting you're getting all you can eat.
No way.
Because you're going to wait in a long line. You're going to get one slice and then have to go back to the end of the line to get another slice. And then when you really think about it, if you're looking at all you can eat pizza, most people can only eat like one pie, right? You could buy a pizza for under $30. Most people
can't even eat a whole pie. They can eat half a pie.
Yeah, but you're buying a pie for under $30. So it's like, why are you paying $150?
Your max you're going to eat throughout the day is 8 slices. The max.
Yeah, because you're not going to want to wait. They said that tickets are limited, so like lines aren't going to be that big. But come on, it's New York. Come on, people
are going to find their way in, and there's staff that are going to be online.
Not to mention, nobody's going to go to like the crap pizza. The Sally's line is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Then you have
the Sally's line, the Bleecker Street.
Yeah, the Bleecker Street line is going to be huge too. The other thing that sucks is they're saying that they're going to have like their style ovens, But no, what makes
you mentioned that the other day. That's a really good point.
If you have a coal-fired oven from 100 years ago, you're not going to make the same pizza on a.
By the way,
other coal
oven is huge in how a pizza comes out. Like you see, even if it's not a regular coal-fired oven, say it's a regular pizza oven.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much good pizza crust cooking thing is like on that bottom of that where they cook it. So it's all, as soon as you put it on there, you're going to get a really good pizza because it's already got like the stuff that makes good pizza on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the other thing too is
it's like having a good iron skillet pan. Like, if you've cooked like 800 good burgers, the next burger is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It has it already on there. You're not going to bring your oven to the event.
No, and the other thing is your oven. So the chef who makes,
that's the other thing. Yeah, the timing.
You know, like the cold spots, the hottest spot, all that stuff. All that stuff plays
By the way, they do it every time. They we go to Giovanni's and they take it from the back to the top, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost done and they take it to the top where there's a little more heat and then go.
Yeah.
Cheese gets perfect.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those things that in theory it's great. And I was even like, dude, we're doing a Subfacts field trip, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait a minute. I don't want to have Sally's and have it be subpar Sally's.
And it'll be subpar Sally's.
And that's what you're going to get. So,
I've done those beer things. And what happens with the beer things, the beer is not as cold and it just gets, the line, you're on huge lines.
So we're not doing that. And folks, I know you guys probably see it too and go, man, that's perfect for Subfacts. This is essentially why we're not doing it. The other thing, another thing that came up this week that I wanted to mention, and this is just gym etiquette, and I wanted to see if you like
gym etiquette. How does people not know gym etiquette?
I wanted to get your approach on this thing. So I went to the gym and the cardio, like I do a lot of cardio every time I go to the gym, part of this whole thing, folks. But anyway, I'm doing cardio and I will admit it was very busy that day.
Right.
But I got into a spot where there was nobody next to me on both sides. And it had, I was there for probably 10 minutes and it did starting to loosen up a little bit, like where some people left. This dude comes up right next to me.
Why?
He was already like sweaty like no other. Comes up next to me and doing cardio. His BO was the worst possible BO in the whole wide world. And he and he's like running. And I'm sitting there going, this is awful.
I would immediately stop.
It was tough to breathe, that bad BO.
Yeah, you stop and you leave.
But I wasn't done I had 40 minutes to go on what I was doing.
No, then you stop, you wait a little bit till he's gone, and then you can.
See, I didn't know. So my thing is, I didn't want to hurt him, because then I'm sitting there going,
"What are you talking about?
I would
have
I didn't want to stop and then go to another machine, a little bit down.
Absolutely, why not?
Because then I was like, dude, I don't want to I'm not sure if I call him out. Go, dude, you stink really bad.
He's not going to talk to you if you move. And he even decides to talk to you. You say, hey, it's just part of my routine. I do some on one machine.
I go to machine A, then move
lie.
down. I just work my way down.
Yeah, you just lie and say something. Either that or you probably say, look, hey, man, all I wanted to do is, I have a little bit sensitive of a nose or whatever.
No, I'm like, dude, you stink. It was so
That's
bad.
What you say. Look, hey, I have a sensitive nose. I have a hard time breathing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I can't be around a lot of people when I work out.
Yeah, because this dude, he was running really aggressively. So I'm sitting there going, okay, well, I'm not doing nearly as fast as this guy's going.
You got to move, dude.
I was like, he's only going to last 5 minutes. And I was thinking, okay, he's going to be done.
Right.
No, he goes my whole 40 minutes I had left. Then I stopped and got off. In literally a minute after I got off, he stops and gets off. I'm like, are you serious? This guy was trailing me.
You should have left. You should have just moved. You can't be around that stuff.
Yeah, it was awful. It was so
it couldn't have been that bad if you stayed 40 minutes. Because
I was breathing off to the side. I was literally, because the worst is I also didn't want, how it's like being the fat guy. You don't want people thinking it's you. And so It was almost
you have to disappear, dude.
It was tough. Brian, would you have done the same thing? Or?
I would have moved.
Okay.
Like
so next time it
bad,
happens, I can just move and be like,
yeah, absolutely,
and not worry about offending somebody who stinks.
Yeah, I mean, I might have even like switched to a different to do something else entirely, not just like move to a different treadmill. Maybe I go to the Nautilus, the weights or something for like 15 minutes, and then go back to a different machine just to make it look like I'm not.
Yeah, not being rude. Like, see, part of me was also stubborn too, because it was like, I was here first. Why are you coming up next to me?
Why are you? Yeah, exactly. You come to my area, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, come on, like, I know that, like, and even after I do, like, let's say I do an hour of cardio, I know that I'm all sweaty and stuff. When I go to the machines, I make sure I have towels, I clean off everything, because I want to make sure, and I even make sure I do the pit check on myself to make sure I don't stink.
So I used to go to the gym at work back, and we had a deal with like the hotel next door where we could use their gym, and so I would go over to the hotel and I would work out in the hotel gym, and after a while, it just wasn't being maintained well, and there was really only one treadmill that had a good belt on it that wasn't like slipping and stuff. When you run.
See, that's the problem too.
And so like everybody always wanted to get on that treadmill, and people would run like right next to you so that if you got off, they could just switch.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe it was something like that. Maybe you were on his favorite treadmill or something.
I don't know, but I like if you're just a crusty, sweaty, nasty person. It's actually similarly when we were at Living Color, it was a sold out show, so it was kind of packed, and BK was this dude like kind of got in front of him, and he was literally wearing this, and he was like a heavier set dude with like a skin tight like tank top.
What?
And you're like, why?
Yeah, that's dumb.
And then it's like your hair's all bushy as a mess, and you're just like, why? Like that's
what. So you had two BO? Was he BO too, or
he wasn't BO, but he looked like he had a major BO potential, and it was also sold out, so it's hot.
I have no idea why bigger guys wear tank tops. No. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
you look gross.
No, but the other thing is, if you know you're in a potentially hot situation. You make sure your skin isn't just touching other people's skin.
By the way, I wear an undershirt. I wear a t-shirt over that. make sure I'm showered. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was just, and there's people that just don't care. It just seems weird. Like the sweaty guy, like I know you're at the gym, you're supposed to sweat and all that stuff, but when you're like dripping, come on, have some couth.
I would have.
They have showers. Go down there, take a quick shower, get back out, and do something else.
I would have. Yeah, it would have creeped me out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was very, very, very awkward. And so, anyway, so that was my gym thing. So I guess now I know that it's okay to just get up and leave.
100%, dude.
And not worry about what the other person thinks. But yeah, I was just like off to the side, like, trying.
I mean, if you're at a movie and then that's tough because if it's
you
can't
go
out
anywhere.
Movie,
yeah.
Really no. I said if it's a sold out movie.
Yeah.
I've moved at a regular movie before.
Yeah, but where you pick your seats, like if you paid for the seats.
Yeah, I had the same thing. Person I was next to smelled, got up, went to a different seat. It was like 15 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know that where people are sitting, everyone's already chosen their seat. So there's empty seats. They're permanently empty.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I move. I don't do it. Like if I can't stay, smelling is like, for me, like the claustrophobic. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to subject myself to a what is it? Officious? Is it not
offensive smells? Maybe.
And it's
Scrabble word. Is there a Scrabble word?
Yeah, there is a Scrabble word. I forget what it is.
Odorific.
Olfactory. What is olfactory?
I have no idea. Never heard of it.
That is
check that out.
It is relating to the sense of smell.
Yeah.
Whoa! Look at you. So check out the big brain on Moon.
Right, but I forget the word that it's like a really bad smell. But yeah, I'm not doing it. I don't deal with those things. I'm not subjecting 2 hours just because this person decided to pick a seat next to me.
Yeah.
Or I picked the seat next to him by accident.
And nothing is worse than BO smell. I think BO smell is just downright awful. What is that? Odor?
Nauseous, maybe that nauseous. What is it? Nauseousness?
Noisomeness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nauseous. It's something like that. If you can pronounce that word, that would be it, I think.
Speaking of nauseous, now that you mention it,
nauseating smell. There you go.
I saw a thing. For some reason, I've said this before. How Facebook finds me, like they put the different things on that I never asked for.
Everybody. All you got to do is say the word.
So they get me with roller coasters. So literally,
what? Yeah, you mentioned roller coasters all the time.
I have virtually ridden every roller coaster in the world at this point because they keep sending me roller coasters. And so what I saw was the coolest one, and I have no idea why they don't do it in America. But in the UK, Thorpe Park, they have a roller coaster dedicated to the movie Saw.
Nice.
Which is awesome. And like I rode it on the virtually, and it was so cool because you hear the little jigsaw, no laughs and stuff, and it looks to be pretty intimidating. And I'm like, Saw is made in America. Why do we have to spend our money on like Harry Potter World and all this stuff?
Yeah.
Why can't they have a whole section of a park dedicated to Saw? Like if there was like a Saw horror house, Saw roller coaster, Saw everything. It'd be awesome.
Right. Like they put certain traps on you to see if you can get out, right?
Yes. But like just
I mean, obviously they wouldn't be harmful, but like
no, but they would have like
they would put one of the masks on you and it doesn't do anything to you, but you get like the 30 seconds to see if you could figure it out to get out.
Yeah, they would have like the dark rides, the ones where it's you just go in and things move around, like Disney type.
Yeah.
Why can't we get a Saw World?
That would be awesome. I would love a Saw World.
Saw World is way better than Harry Potter, in my opinion.
And then maybe you have like a Saw World for people that are awful. And then like say, hey, like, let's see if you can actually get out.
Yeah.
Imagine like, someone on death row and you put them in like a saw trap.
Well, that's a whole nother aspect to life that, where we would be the people that watched people at the guillotine,
Right. That's what I'm saying. But imagine that you put them in the saw trap. And they'd be like, okay, even if you get out, you're still you're not going to get out. But I mean,
I think the problem is if you're on death row, like you're taking the easiest out. You're not taking the saw. Like, granted, there's a slim chance you survive.
But you're still going back to prison. You're not getting out.
No. Even if they said, look, you do this, if you get out of it legitimately, then you're free.
Ooh, all right.
Nobody's taking that still.
No.
You're going to sit there and go, you know what? I'll take a lethal injection all day long over that. So they couldn't do that. But I mean, from like an amusement park perspective, Saw World would be insane.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to Saw World.
That's what we need. We need Saw World.
Just as long as it's not $200 to go.
That's a great idea for a movie, though, Matt.
Saw World?
Like
or one that I was saying.
Like if you're a prisoner, like or you're on death row, like if you can get out some.
That was my idea.
Oh, was it?
You.
Know,
Jesus.
It
but it's a collective. It's a Subfacts collective idea.
Subfacts Pictures. Presents.
Is it like Twisted Pictures?
Yes.
But Saw 11 can do that. We're at Saw 10. Saw 11 can be that.
Totally could do that.
God, I am.
And hey, with everybody on strike, we're going to be in demand.
Dude, I am calling Tobin Bell tomorrow.
Yes. Going to be awesome. And so there's another thing that came up, and I don't know if I still think it's gross, but French's somehow got together with Skittles.
What?
And
how is that even a thing?
I read the article and I forgot the correlation or whatever. It's sometime like with the summertime, you think of like French's mustard and hot dogs and stuff.
Right.
So somehow Skittles got involved and they created French's mustard flavored Skittles. And it's what? I love, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm a shill for French's. Like, I don't like any other mustard other than French's yellow. Like, even if you get, like, everybody goes mustard, and you get the yellow store-bought whatever. No, I can tell the difference between French's and anything else. I don't
like mustard,
So the fact that, and I love Skittles. Skittles are like one of my favorite candies of all time. I don't know that I would like a mustard flavored Skittle.
I don't think you would.
But
I don't think anyone would.
I would like to get my hands on them I'd try one. I would try one.
Yeah, of course you gotta try one.
But I'd like to try one, but I think it's nasty.
You can try the mini pack.
And know what you do too is just to F with people. If you leave like grenades. Like you take a normal Skittles thing and then you throw some of the mustard ones in and you spin them and you like mix them in.
That would be awful. That would.
I remember we used to have the candy cart at our job, and people would have like Skittles and then there was M&Ms, and some a-hole mixed some M&Ms with the Skittles, which keep in mind isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when you're taking a handful of something, you get a grenade.
It's a different bite. Yeah, it's a different bite.
You totally get a grenade, and so
because a Skittles is a chew bite, whereas an M&M is an eat bite.
Yeah. And I love both of them, but when you put them together, it's awful.
Right.
It's just an OCD nightmare. And so so if anybody has the French's Mustard Skittles and has tried them,
write in
and let us know.
Absolutely.
What you think of them, and also if you have extra, send them in. And so I'll be on the lookout for them. We'll see what's up.
We'll get them.
You know who's not going to get the mustard flavored Skittles? Our boy Paul Reubens, aka PeeWee Herman.
God, man, and he didn't get any love. Like the dude passed away, and no one's talking about it.
I was surprised by that. It's like on social media, people have mentioned it, but mainstream media, no one's talking about it. Like no one mentioned it. And I always talk about this. Celebrities.
By the way, that guy, I watched the TV show. Yeah. I watched both movies.
Absolutely, and I think the thing with celebrities is, you want to be remembered. You want to have like when you die, you want to know that like the Today Show, all these media outlets are mourning the loss of you for the work that you've done. And he just died and no one cared. And it's like, it's really odd.
Yeah, it was odd.
So he had cancer and didn't tell anybody about it. So if anything, that's more of a shock, I think. But and he had a couple indiscretions.
Yeah, I don't like that. He did have some.
But for the most part,
on his resume.
For the most part, I think he still deserves to be, brought up, and he deserves to be honored on what he did. Between the kids show, his club show, which started the kids show, was awesome. And just the various characters and whatnot. So R.I.P. PeeWee.
R.I.P. buddy.
And he was fantastic in Meatballs 2. He did not.
Meatballs 2.
He did not play PeeWee Herman. He was
just a standard dude,
separate character.
Okay.
And he was hilarious. So he was in my opinion one of the best parts of Meatballs 2.
And he's in it a good deal, or
he's in it. Yeah, he's it's one of those quirky characters. So he's not the main. He's not the main character, and that's the one where
they like the spaz guy in Meatballs 2.
Yeah, he's just a weird, quirky dude. Okay. But he in Meatballs 2, he was just funny. Like he was hilarious. The bus driver, and I remember he in the very beginning he flipped this dude off twice. And I love it when people flip people off, but he did it and it was like, this is for you and this is the horse you rode in on type of thing. And so but he was hilarious in that. And so
Meatballs Part 2.
That was the one with Meathead, the alien. Loved it. As stupid as the movie is, I loved it as a kid. I watched it every time.
Wasn't there a Meatballs 3?
There was 5 or 6.
Really?
Oh yeah, but they all were terrible.
I know I feel
Meatballs
like Corey 3 had Jason Bateman or something.
Yeah, it was Corey Feldman or one of the Coreys was there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. There was a couple. Meatballs 3 they were all bad.
I want to say Jason Bateman, but I could be wrong.
I think there might have been
Patrick Dempsey was Meatballs 3.
Oh, there is it. Patrick Dempsey.
Meatballs 4 was Corey Feldman.
Yeah, Corey Feldman. Boom.
I didn't even know there was a Meatballs
4. And Meatballs 5.
Yeah, there wasn't. I was just checking.
I still love Meatballs.
Meatballs 1 was Bill Murray and.
The original Meatballs.
The original's the best.
Unreal.
Woody the Wabbit. Any summer camp movie, I'm in.
Yeah.
I love summer camp movies.
You know what? They should have another summer camp movie. That would be
because even Heavyweights was hilarious, except for Ben Stiller. I hated Ben Stiller in Heavyweights, but I
hate Ben Stiller in everything.
Yeah, that's true. Did you see? You saw Heavyweights, right? The greatest line in Heavyweights is because they were flying in, and he looks at this one kid. He goes, "Hey, you going to fat camp?" No. He goes, "Why do you ask?" He goes, "'Cause you're fat." It's just awesome. He's like, "Why do you ask?" "'Cause you're fat."
Oh my god!
And so, anyway, that's it for the regular stuff. Okay, so movies of the week. There's really only one movie.
I'll be seeing it, of course.
The Meg 2. What is it? The Trench.
Yes.
And so the reviews aren't good, but the reviews weren't good for the first one either. And this one
looks solid. Although I'm really pissed off there's no Bing Bing Lee.
Is that a meal or
no? Bing Bing Lee, the Asian interest in the first one.
It's like, is that got teriyaki on it? But like the only thing weird, like interesting, I'd say interesting about it is apparently like there's different types of like Meg in the first one is the shark.
Yeah.
Megalodon, which my son keeps calling him, saying he's got a megalodon, 12-year-old humor. But he's like, check out my megalodon, and so but apparently there's like meg squid and octopuses and stuff like that. There's even like a meg dinosaur or whatever. It's just so apparently it gets a little far-fetched from that perspective. So it's not just like the shark, but hey, big creatures. Jason Statham's got to kill them in the ocean. I'm watching it.
Oh, so all right, I'm gonna see it. I'm a little worried now. It's not just I don't mind just one
shark.
Scene with an octopus, but
it's like
it better not be like multiple.
Because remember the movie
scenes.
Like that? It was like that piece of the crust opened up and then the Meg got out. So apparently it's like that, but there's like other things that get out that are just huge.
Oh my god!
And so I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna enjoy. It's a Saturday afternoon movie.
I'll probably either see that tonight or Sunday night.
Yeah. Everything else that's come out looks like utter garbage. Like this is literally the worst
garbage.
This has to be the worst summer in film on history, I think. And if you think about it, this is before the writer's strike and the actor's strike and all of that stuff. So it just leads me to believe once again that maybe AI is actually better than the crap that writers that they have in Hollywood.
I'm going to ignore that comment so we can have a fun rest of the show.
Oh, I know you hate AI, but come on. These writers suck.
I'm going to ignore the comments so we have a fun rest of the show.
Fair enough. I'm just saying the movies suck this summer.
They do. I'll give you that.
And so
Mission Impossible, though, I haven't seen that yet, but that looked good.
Yeah.
That was one.
I might watch that at home tonight or this weekend. I got Waze. If you know what I mean. You know who else has Waze?
This is Cindy Starfall, and it's time for Mooney's Dugout. Love you, Mooney.
Awesome.
Boom. She's got a way about her.
That's a great Billy Joel song, by the way. All right. So I need to go ape-s off on the Women's World Cup start times.
Is that started yet?
Yes. It's in the bracket stage.
Oh, okay.
The first stage of the bracket was this morning at one, that's where I'm going up. So they had the group stage, which is where I think they had 8 groups. So 8 groups of 4 teams, right? Mm-hmm. 2 teams qualify in each group. And then they go into a bracket of 16, 8 on each side. Yep. So that stage started today.
Okay.
At like 3 a.m.
Do you know why it's at 3 a.m.?
Because the games are played in New Zealand and Australia.
Because nobody cares. Nobody's going to watch.
No one's watching them.
Wow.
There's not one person that's getting up at 3 a.m. to watch this.
U.S. plays tomorrow at 5 a.m., and I'm absolutely getting up to watch it.
No chance.
I am. I'm getting up at 5 a.m. to watch
it.
There's
Sunday.
100%. I'll go back to bed at 8, but I mean, there's a 1,000,000% chance I'm watching.
Okay. You, sports fan, like to have like a beer in your hand. You like to be at a bar. You like to get all into that. You're not doing that at 5 a.m.
I'll go downstairs. I might have a beer.
And at 5 a.m?
Yes. And I will watch the game. I'll text you a picture.
I'll be sleeping, sir. Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So the garbage thing is these games, like all these bracket stage games where people are going to watch here 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m. The finals is at 6 a.m. So if the U.S. makes the finals, the game starts at 6 a.m. What kind of garbage is that?
I think to Brian's point, they made it very abundantly clear that America does not care.
Oh, God. All right. So I found an interesting article about...
Am I wrong, Brian?
You are not wrong.
Wow. Okay, so remember all the Women's World Cup fighting about equal pay? The U.S. Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
So the U.S. women finally got equal... They finally got like the equal pay piece that they wanted from the, from the men's, whatever, from the U.S. Soccer Association. But it didn't happen in other countries. So these other women's teams in other countries are fighting for like a bigger purse for Women's World Cup. To give you an example, the winner of this World Cup, I think gets like 4 million or 6 million. The winner of the men's got like 16 million or whatever it was. So it's like way or 40.
Is it the same thing as like the WNBA though?
Yes, it's a lot like that.
Hey, if you don't support your own sport, then sorry, it's on you.
So the U.S. is not fighting this time because no matter what they earn, they're getting a piece of what the men get. So whatever the U.S. men's purse victory was for finishing only in the the bracket stage, they're going to get a piece of those earnings. So they're going to make more no matter where they finish.
I think that's garbage, complete garbage.
But that's what the U.S. women are going to get. So they're not fighting as hard as these other women.
Yeah.
To get equal pay because they're going to get it.
They honestly, they need to really figure out, like, I think it's terrible that the men have to come off of their purse to make sure that the women get something because they're complaining. They're essentially nagging. And it's like, come on.
But the numbers are similar. This is why I don't understand where you guys are coming from. The actual Nielsen ratings for Women's World Cup are similar to the Men's World Cup. So people watch the women play soccer.
But tell me if I'm wrong, but the money comes from where does the money come from? It comes from the TV coverage.
Yes. It comes from the TV bidding. Who's going to bid. So what Fox is going to pay to the rights to run the events or the matches.
TV coverage, but also butts in the seats, it doesn't come to that.
No, it comes from the TV contracts.
Okay.
The TV pays the soccer or FIFA, and FIFA goes, how much are they going to get from a contract for them showing the Women's World Cup matches?
Yeah. So if TV should basically, but I guess what I'm saying is ratings should dictate everything. So, so if the ratings are equal, then yes, split it 50-50, perfectly fine. I got no issues
with that. For the women, they are. For U.S., but not for other countries. That's the problem.
Well, that's on them. That's not.
The women already got, that's what I'm saying. The U.S. women are okay. They're not fighting as much as they used to.
As they shouldn't.
But the thing is, these TV contracts are similar. So they're not like, let's say, basically FIFA is pocketing more of the money and saying, we know not many people like the women or watch the women. We're just going to keep this money.
Yeah, that's why soccer sucks.
All right. Okay. So on to other news.
No, I'm just saying FIFA seems to be in the wrong based on what you're saying. But clearly,
all get out.
And that's who's heading the whole sport. So it's kind of like,
I'm
they
just
suck.
saying it kind of sucks. My biggest frustration is the times. The pay thing, they're never, the women, U.S. women got there because obviously in the U.S., they're more concerned about equal than anywhere else, but.
Yeah. Hey, F them. If you don't like what you're getting paid, get out.
Wow. All right. You heard it there first. Okay. So on to other news, the Jets and Browns played in the annual Hall of Fame game, which is a big pile of dog ass.
Yes, that's and I will watch an occasional preseason and whatnot, but that's the one that's not even real preseason.
It's not even real preseason.
It's like a scrimmage.
It is.
Yeah, it's
and
garbage.
basically they wear the full uniforms. Everyone gets straight and gear, but it's a show now. They try to make this thing like a really. Only because the NFL is the hugest entity in the world and everybody loves it and watches it. They, now they made a huge deal. Wow, the Hall of Fame game is this Thursday, and they have all the like DeMarcus Ware was there. They had
it was all the Hall of Fame people, right?
Right. They had Aaron Rodgers being interviewed during the game. Like,
yeah. Well,
I was like, come on, this is a football game, and you're making a mockery of it. Like, but
yeah, I didn't watch it.
Like you say, you're getting got practice squad guys, not even them. These guys are fighting to make a practice squad, not even the regular team.
Oh yeah, it's like you could just go down the street and see kids playing. And it's the same thing. It's not
right.
You know what I mean? It's nothing. But it does. What it does do though is there are those people that just they don't watch any other sports. That's their sport,
right? And then it's
literally just the first inkling of what they get to see of their sport.
They get a little taste of what they're going to get in a month.
Yeah, but.
And then brief news. I mean, this is college, so you guys probably don't really care much. Big Ten added Oregon and Washington, and the Big 12 added Utah and Arizona State University.
What does that mean?
That means the Pac-12. So there's a bunch of these conferences, right? Football conferences where these teams are in, and football conferences like FIFA and whatever, they book TV time. So like ESPN, FS1, True TV. I'm trying to.
We get the picture. It's different channels,
right? CBS. So all these different sports networks and channels, Fox, whatever.
Sure.
They pay a lot to get to exclusively play certain conferences games, right? And then there's the Big Ten Network. So,
basically, if you go into, let's say they go into the Big Ten, whatever, now Oregon and Washington are getting more money.
They're getting more money. They're getting they're getting more televised games.
So they're getting more shine. So they've done something right. Okay.
So they can attract more players, because the other thing is these players get more attraction. And so some of these scouts don't have to always go to a game. They can watch it on TV and go, "Oh wow, who's that player?"
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's good for them. It's good for these middle schools like Oregon and, like I said, so Oregon and Washington, they go to the Big Ten. The Big 12, which is one step below the Big Ten, they get Utah and Arizona State. But what this means for Pac-12 is near death. Like all they have left is like Oregon State. God, I can't even remember. They Arizona, like they're really getting fleeced.
So when two get added, do two get dropped?
No.
Oh.
No. So it just gets, so the Big Ten is, it's the name is just a sham. They have like 20 teams now with these things.
Okay, so it doesn't make much of a difference then.
So, I mean, the Pac-12, so UCLA, Arizona State is moving. So they'll have Stanford, Oregon State, Cal, USC is still there, but USC is joining the Big Ten. So Arizona is moving. So Washington State, UCLA, Colorado, these are garbage teams. Like the Pac-12 is going to fold.
Okay, you heard it here, folks.
It's crazy. That's what I said. They're getting fleeced.
Just know you heard it here on Mooney's Dugout. I'm giving you Mooney.
There you go.
Because I know nothing
Michigan. Fun fact about Michigan: largest stadium in the world. Not the world, but in the United States.
Dave Portnoy went there.
He did.
Pizza one bite, everybody knows.
Yeah, and he charges $150 for 4 slices of pizza.
Exactly. So I'm excited because my daughter's going to University of Maryland starting in the fall, and
that's awesome, dude.
I got season tickets to their football games, so I am looking to watching some home Big Ten football at University of Maryland this year.
I hope you brought some. Never mind.
Oh, hey. Okay. Awesome. Well, congratulations.
No. You know what, though? They're going to play. I think they play Penn State, so that's
they do. So that's going to be a good one.
Yeah. So congratulations, Brian.
That's awesome. Way to go, man. Congrats to your daughter.
Okay, folks. For the Backstage Pass, I will say, just as far as albums go this week, the biggest album probably for our audience, let's just say, is the Mammoth WVH 2 album, which is Wolfgang Van Halen's.
Mammoth is the band?
So the band is called Mammoth WVH. So it's Mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen. So it's
Mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen.
Yeah, it's called Mammoth WVH.
Okay.
The album is called 2 because it's the second album. He's really kind of following in the Van Halen footsteps, where the first album was just called Mammoth WVH. Now this is Mammoth WVH 2. I will say Wolfgang Van Halen seems like the coolest, most chill dude you want to hang out with. Like, he's a dude who would love Subfacts.
Yeah, dude, he looks awesome. He looks like a guy can eat.
He would love Subfacts. He plays.
Is he a solo guy?
Well, the interesting thing is it's a band, but he plays every instrument. So when the albums,
is he a lead singer?
Yeah. So when the albums are created, he plays every instrument. He does have a touring group that tour with him because he can't do it on stage. But he seems like the nicest guy in the world. I will say this though. His music is not necessarily for me. He gets a lot of critical praise. And I think it's, once again, if your last name is Van Halen, you're going to get
it right. That's why he does it.
Yeah. He seems like a genuinely nice guy, and I don't want to but I'm saying the music necessarily isn't for me. It's very much rock. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's just, and it's good. It doesn't, but nothing.
Would I like it or no?
I think you would like it. It doesn't, for me, it just doesn't grab me. I think that's what it is. Like I bought the first album when it came out because I wanted, hey, I want
to give it a try. You always give it a try.
And he's a good dude. You want to support him. Yeah. And so I heard a couple singles from the latest album, and it's very much, for me, it's very pedestrian. It doesn't stand out. But a lot of people love it, critically acclaimed, all that stuff. So that's why I'm kind of highlighting it, because there's people out there that are probably going to really love it. So that's the big album this week. Another thing that came out music-wise was Taylor Swift, as you know, has been on her Eras tour, and it's just breaking records everywhere, selling out everything. She played she's playing her last shows. She did an extra show, which a lot of times people do an extra show because it just makes more money for, covering expenses and stuff like that. So not that she needs any extra money, but she decided to do something that nobody does, is she gave over $55 million in bonuses to the various crew members and all that. She had 12 truck drivers. Each truck driver got $100,000 check.
Nice.
Bonus. That's a bonus. So your truck driver's not making that much money.
$80,000, $100,000.
Then to get a check for $100,000 on top just for being cool, that's insane. That's awesome. And she
amazing.
She did give a lot to food banks and stuff like that too, and her crew members and stuff. But I think that's extra special, and I think it's cool. It's nothing she needs to do, because obviously, you're being paid to do a job and a service, and but the fact that she really did that,
right, I think takes care of some people that help her out. Yeah,
absolutely cool.
That's commendable, man.
Like I said, her music isn't for me, but you have to respect.
You got to respect people like that.
You got to respect her moves, and she didn't have to do it, and she definitely did it. And one could argue,
not every artist does that, not even close.
Absolutely. And one could argue, well, she's worth like $1 billion. Well, she is, but she didn't have to give $55 million to anybody. Yeah. She just did it. And so,
by the way, Elon Musk is worth $150 billion. You don't see him giving $50 million away to people.
And I'm pretty sure that next time she's on tour, those people are going to be like, "Oh, thank you," and really appreciate everything that
she's worth. $600 million.
She's done. Is she? That's a lot.
Yep, 600 million.
Good for her.
And then it says estimated that her worth is
closer to 740.
Let's say it's 700.
Yeah.
And she gave away how much?
$55 million.
That's a lot.
It is. I think so.
That's that's like 8% of your net worth.
Good for her. I'm just saying,
she's going to earn more of that. Obviously if she does another tour, she's just going to earn a lot of that back, but
yeah. And so, but good. I just think I think in this day and age, I've been really paying a lot of attention, and I've been reading a lot about the cost that it goes on tour, where mid-level bands to lower level bands, at this point, they're either losing money or barely breaking even to even tour, because of the costs of everything.
Right.
And
how much they get.
And not to mention, if you raise I'll give you an example. I saw a thing on merch, and I don't know if it was an arena sized band. They took 1 day's totals. So in merch only, they made $125,000 of merch.
Right.
After you pay like for the cost of the merch, the people working the tables, the various tables, all that kind of, all the taxes, what the venue takes out, all that stuff, the band basically got $8,000.
Wow.
So that's an arena size band. So imagine if you're playing clubs, you know, I highly suggest to buy.
Right, you're probably getting 1,000 or 800.
Yeah, because if you think about it, a lot of that merch money goes to paying your roadies, goes to paying your drivers, all that stuff. So what I suggest, folks, is when you go to a show, you know, especially if it's a little show or whatever, buy a shirt. You know, buy it buy a shirt, buy something, because that's actually going to help the band better. You know, Taylor Swift doesn't need that, but like. You know, but like in Living Color, I made sure to buy a shirt because they're not obviously at the Taylor Swift level. They were a long time ago, but now they're playing, you know, small clubs, grinding it out, you know, so kind of do your part.
There you go.
And I think the fact that Taylor is doing that at a high level, I think is fantastic.
That's awesome.
The last thing I wanted to highlight was a band that I recently found called Orbit Culture. And
Orbit Culture.
Where
do you find these names?
I fell
do you Google weird band names?
No, I've just been searching late, you know, I've been doing a lot of music stuff lately. And so I found that recently got turned on to this band, Orbit Culture. They're out of Sweden. And folks, I'm a huge Metallica fan, as you know. But I dropped out after the Black album because they just were making music that wasn't for me. If you were looking at if you were trying to find Metallica, like had Bob Rock not intervened and, you know, softened them up, Orbit Culture is what I think modern Metallica would sound like.
Nice. All right.
The lead singer, his idol is James Hetfield. So literally everything is, you know, Metallica. So when he sings, when he clean sings, he sounds like James Hetfield. So it's like James Hetfield and some growls and a great band behind it. So somebody likened it. They actually said it's Metallica with balls. So if you like Metallica but you wanted to see like what they should be like now, Orbit Culture.
Okay.
I'm telling you, folks, you're going to love it. And they have a new album that's coming out on the 18th. It's called Descent.
Orbit Culture.
Check out Orbit Culture, and you will definitely hear the James Hetfield influence. You will hear a good Metallica with balls.
You heard the new Metallica coming at you.
Yes, the much better Metallica in Orbit Culture.
There we go.
And that's all I have.
I think that's all we both have.
Week. Yes.
Right. I mean, we said a lot.
I think we've said a lot.
Are we we're going to have another recasting video in our near future?
Yeah, those are doing well. We're getting a lot of good traction off of those on YouTube. So
what are we doing? NME, right?
Oh, yeah. We decided we were going to do Nightmare on Elm Street is the next one we'll be doing. And it's the original.
Yes.
And we're going to take strictly just the original, forget that the other ones have been made.
Absolutely.
And so, so we're going to
Although it's hard to forget Dream Warriors, which was fantastic.
Dream Warriors is my personal favorite. But
that's because the Dokken, right? Is it Dokken?
Dokken.
No? Yeah, Dokken. Okay.
No, but that was just the best one.
It was pretty good.
So great. But anyway, we're going to do the first one. We're going to recast, and unfortunately we have no choice but to recast Robert Englund because he's not going to do any more. And I know I think they're working on a new one.
They are, yeah.
And so I think with the actor strike and all that stuff going on, people might actually take our suggestions.
Hey, man.
So
I think we'll find a good Freddy.
Yeah. So if you want to check it out, make sure you check out our YouTube
And then if you want to make suggestions, get them in now, folks.
Yep.
Get them in now.
Yep. Subfactspodcast@gmail.com.
Boom. All right. All music, all tech support for Subfacts is provided by our friend Andy at Creative Underground. He offers a wide variety of services. Most importantly, folks, it's corporate events, weddings, concerts, pro karaoke, best audio tech guy around. Give him a call. Like I said, he will customize things for you. You got to give him a call right now. Go to his website, www.creativeunderground.co.com.
And up next is Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com. What can we say that we haven't already said 50 million other times?
I mean,
when you think of photos, you think of Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com.
And you don't even want to know what he can do with a drone. Like, it's sick.
Oh, the drone work alone is nuts. Right. So Ben's specializes in
headshots. The guy's a pimp.
Commercial real estate marketing, all of the above. Once again, anything. If you're even looking at a camera, you should only be thinking of Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com.
Last but not least, the guy who will make your ride look like new every time. Big Dog Auto Detailing. All you got to do is say, BK, hook me up, and he will. I'm telling you, get the ceramic wax. It protects your car all year long, and it makes it look shine and fine. 571-233-8716. Tell them Subfacts sent you.
Boom. And once again, if you want to participate in our show, write us at subfactspodcast@gmail.com. If you want to see some of the pictures that Ben took of us a long time ago at this point, subfactspodcast.com.
Bam.
More importantly, we've been uber focused, as you know, for this year on our YouTube channel. We do music reactions. We do, our show obviously goes up there, and we're doing these specials. We've been doing the new movie recastings on there too. Yeah. So please make sure that if you haven't already, make sure you hit like, subscribe, leave comments.
Please.
Even on the recastings, if you think you have better choices, leave comments on our recasting. So check us out on Subfacts YouTube. We're also on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere where you get podcasts, you're going to hear us. So definitely like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I think that's all we have.
They get that.
Okay, folks, stay safe, and we will see you next time.
Yeah.
Boom.